Hello again, back out on the road in the backwoods, and today, rather than my lovely wife, I'm with my awesome son. And we are out doing a little backwoods exploration. We are at a place called the Kasey Cemetery, but a lot of people call it the Gates of Hell. Um, it's known, if you look online, Gates of Hell in Kentucky, as one of the most haunted cemeteries in the state. And I don't know about that, but it is probably one of the most vandalized cemeteries, and I'll take you on a walk through it in a second here. But it's beautiful out here. We're at the top of a ridge. It's the middle of winter, so the leaves are off the trees, and you can see all the other ridges around here. It's absolutely gorgeous and peaceful here. But anyway, I'll give you a little tour of the cemetery. So the Kasey Cemetery is at the very end of this road. It used to be paved. It's mostly gravel now and a lot of holes, potholes. But it's very easily travel. You can travel it easily. You don't need to have a four-wheel drive vehicle to just get here. Just gotta be careful. Anyway, it's at the end of the road, and here it is. This is probably, and we stop at a lot of cemeteries when we're traveling, just because you can learn a lot about an area from the dates on the headstones and whatnot. But this is probably the most vandalized cemetery I've ever seen. I have moved cemeteries with the previous job that I had. I've relocated them for road projects. I have restored cemeteries on contract after some natural disasters. And this is probably the worst I've ever seen as far as vandalism goes. But anyway, it's called the Kasey Cemetery. We're near Elizabethtown, Kentucky. So I don't know the entire history of this cemetery. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on it. But if I can find something, I'll put it below in the comments. I'm going to leave the paranormal stuff to somebody else. I might mention it a little bit later, but I'll put a link to some of that maybe also in the comments below. But so here we go. The cemetery, I've looked online, just on Find a Grave, and a lot of these date from the mid 1800s until the most recent I could find was 2011. But I can't find a headstone here for the gentleman that they list as buried here, so who knows. Most of them, it looks like, stopped in the mid 1900s. That's kind of the older stones you're going to find here. But anyway, walking down the little trail where this goes, there are a few headstones standing here, but more often than not, they've been knocked off their base. Like this one's been knocked off its base. A lot of them are smashed just to pieces, which is a shame. I don't know why people feel the need to come in and vandalize like this. But they do, and unfortunately, the family of most of these people are gone, and there's no really a caretaker here to put it back. So looks like some volunteers have put some of them back upright, but most of them here are vandalized. I'd say a good 85-90% of these stones are broken and missing. But someone's come along and kind of put them back together and at least set them upright and done what they could. A lot of people come out here and leave mementos for people. A lot of ghost hunters come out here. Oh, look, there's a Confederate headstone. A little piece of information on those. Confederate headstones have this peak to them, up and down peak. There is a Union soldier buried over here, and you can see how that has kind of the rounded top to the stone. And then this one, again, it's kind of pointed. So that's the difference between a Confederate and a Union government-issued headstone. That one is undamaged, believe it or not, which is surprising to me. But anyway, so yeah, a lot of paranormal investigators come out here, and I'm kind of skeptical about some of it, not all of it, but they say there's lots of paranormal and demonic activity, and who am I to say there is or isn't? All I can say is this place sure has been abused. And if I guess it were going to be a haunted place, or if there was going to be a haunted place, this would be the place to be haunted. Who knows if all these stones are even where they belong. A lot of them are scattered, broken, just knocked over. Toward the back of this cemetery, there are quite a few graves that are just a field stone. There's a little doll there with that one. But yeah, like a field stone. A lot of times if someone couldn't afford a proper headstone, they'd just take a field stone and set it up right, and that was a grave marker, so they could find it again. This is on Find a Grave. There are a lot of them, a lot of the burials here are listed. You can look up a good amount of information on who's buried here and their family relations. It's actually one of the more detailed ones I've seen in a while. Someone has left an old hymnal up here. I've never seen anything this vandalized. It's really sad. It's where somebody's come along and set these back up. We tried to set this one back up earlier, my son and I. It just weighs too much. You'd have to come out here with the right equipment. But you can see where that was recently knocked over. See a little divot in the ground there where it sat. But we couldn't get it back up. It's just too heavy. It probably weighs 400 or 500 pounds. You know, this is at the end of this road, and as you can see, it's a beautiful place. I mean, we're at the top of a hill here. It sits at the top of a hill, and way off in the distance, you can see the tops of other ridges, big valley below. It's quiet here. It's peaceful. It's just very beautiful here. I wish I knew the history of it a little bit more. The road, it's a very long road, and it just dead ends right at the head of the cemetery back there. And I don't see the maps I've been able to find always show it ending here on the historic aerials and the old topographics. This is as far as I could find the road going. It just kind of ended, but this is a large cemetery. Usually, you know, you'll find small family cemeteries all over the place on, you know, what used to be the old family farm. But there's a couple hundred people buried here, so this isn't exactly just some small little plot on an out-of-the-way place at somebody's farm. I just don't know the whole history of it. If you do, please comment below and let me know. But this is the Gates of Hell Cemetery. The Kasey Cemetery is a proper name for it. The name Gates of Hell came from a wonderful gentleman. You can find his videos online. His name is Bishop James Long of the Old Catholic Church. And he coined that phrase. He is a minister, not only a bishop in the Old Roman Catholic Church. He also does a lot with the paranormal community. And he was doing a little bit of research out here one time, and he said it was just so scary or demonic, or unnatural, whatever happened here, that it was comparable to the gates of hell, or reminded him of the gates of hell. Go check him out. He has a YouTube page, Bishop James Long. He also has a website, Bishop James Long. I'll probably try and include those below in the links. But anyway, that's it. That's the Gates of Hell Cemetery, or the Kasey Cemetery, as it's properly called, here outside of Elizabethtown, Kentucky. And as always, I hope you have a great day.